potential, unlocking potential on the place where you live. So we change the world one place at a time. The task is not to save the planet in one project. The task is to start a process of potential, of evolutionary growth in one place where we have connection. We do that by not focusing on the problem itself, because what I find is that solving one problem almost always generates another one, whereas unlocking one potential generates a new potential. So when I work with groups, I mean, it's always the problematic places that they choose to work with, but it's a different way of seeing the place if you search for the potential in the place instead of the problem that you have to solve. So it is actually more difficult than you think, and it takes some training. So the slides we are seeing now is one session each for 2.5 hours with 2 weeks apart. So that's why you find it difficult to grasp. In regenerative work, we always set relationship before task. All the good projects that you can think of has been based on good relations within the project. If you don't get the relation to each other, you cannot create great things. It's about relationship to each other, it's about the relationship to the place, and it's about relationship to the ecology, meaning the soil, the grass, where you are, fingers in the ground. We work with potential, not problem solving. We see places as complex systems. So a place is not just a place. A place is also connected to other places. Here in Norway, we see that the place has systems by itself, but through the fishing industry, it also is connected to systems all over the world. So there are many ways to see systems. We will work with that when we are done with these big questions. We search for and create energies. So when I have groups, it's always the group from the place they live that sort of pick the place they work. There is always a place in the city or in the place they live that has this special energy. Sometimes they know exactly what the energy is about, and sometimes they don't. And it's not ever me coming from the outside who knows where the energy lies. I think we all took pictures of the seagulls. By the, maybe not you, but all of us who lived in Kysthotellet, we took pictures of a place where there are seagulls screaming in our faces when we cross the bridge. Yeah. So this is, but I think if you ask the citizens, maybe that's not sort of the most energetic place, but there was a lot of energy there. But maybe it's not the energy you want to build on if you want to create change. And then there is this overarching principle in doing all kind of regenerative work that you give back as much as you take. We will work with that when we talk about stakeholders. This is actually also quite difficult. I talked to use a lot of Pernille about it yesterday. How do we figure out what our project can give back to the stakeholders? That is actually quite difficult. Yes. So now we ask, think about a place that you love, you in person. What does it mean to you and what have you experienced there? And what potential do you see? Life exists, not just our life, but all life exists in systems. And life is constantly evolving to more complex systems. So even though we think that the world now with the AI and social media is the more complex we have ever seen, there will come more complex system afterwards. I don't know if you have seen that. There is a Netflix series about, I think it's 6 or 7 programs where the world sort of ends in the beginning of every program, and it's about what comes afterwards. So every time there is mass extinction, something more complex and more evolved comes next. So I'm thinking just by myself, the globe is not, I'm not worried for the globe, even though everything sort of is extinct in 1,000 years. I think we will be sort of killing ourselves, and maybe something more advanced will come after that, a more advanced human. I wonder what that would be. So there are events that set new processes in motion and change the system. So it could be anything. It could be volcanoes, or it could be wars. It could be things that sets a new process in motion. And every place is unique. Not the same thing happens. Even though there are two places that each has a volcano, something different will happen. So the last one on these is speed reflections. Can you think of an event that has caused change in the world, in your country, and in your place? Go.
Where can it work?